Welcome, Undrafted Hockey Fan. I'm Brad. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of the Red Wings just losing. It's infuriating. It's frustrating. They're missing the playoffs. I lied. They're technically not out of the playoffs. They still have technically a 1% chance of making the playoffs if the Montreal Canadiens lose every game the rest of the season and the Red Wings win every game the rest of the season. Like, it is a slim to none chance, especially for a team like Montreal, who has literally won their sixth straight game in a row. I mean, they're killing it. They're honest. It's such a frustrating because you're like, I've been there. I've been there the whole time. I'm not on the Red Wings should tank thing. I'm on the hey, they should be trying to make it no matter what. And it's so frustrating. But the bummer is that I called this from the start. I've said this since the start of the season. I said this is not going to be the team. It's not going to be the year. It's not going to work, and that's fine. Like, it's okay as long as we see progress. Dude, we've seen some freaking progress, guys and gals. It has been honestly, it's been a frustrating year because there's been so many ups and so many downs. You can say, let's say this: if Eichmann had fired Derek Lalonde a little sooner, brought in McClellan, maybe they would have gone a little longer. They had 2 7-game winning streaks, right? Like, maybe that's it. But again, like, you're still pretty comfortably outside of playoff spot because currently the Montreal Canadiens have 8 more points than you. And hell, the New York Rangers actually are currently beating you right now because they have more regulation wins. So they're tied for points. You're tied for points with the Columbus Blue Jackets and the New York Rangers. You're technically ahead of the Blue Jackets because you have more regulation wins, but still. And the Red Wings in the last 10 are 4-5-1. Canadians are 6-3-1. Ottawa Senators are 6-3-1. Like, they're just playing better hockey, and it's a bummer because to me, you see the teams that are coming out of who are in rebuilds in the Atlantic because they all did around the same time. Ottawa, Buffalo's been in a perpetual rebuild. Montreal went into a rebuild after the 2020 season, but mind you, Montreal, it's so frustrating. It's also frustrating because Eisman came in with nothing, which is true. He came in with nothing in 2019, April 2019, and then COVID happened. He drafts Moritz Seider, awesome. He had to get rid of bad contracts. Honestly, he had to start from the bottom. I totally understand that. And Canadians had to do something similar, right? But they got the opportunity to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's like tough because you still have guys in there, like you have like a David Savard, you have who came later, but like you have a David Savard, you have a Brandon Gallagher, like you have some semblance of the guys who were here before. Even through the rebuild of the Ottawa Senators, like you have Brady Tkachuk, and think about it's just so frustrating. So the Red Wings lose tonight to the Montreal Canadiens 4-1. Really, it was a 2-1 loss. Let's be honest, 2 empty netters. So still 2-1 loss is heartbreaking, especially when you score the first goal. And so let's just do a quick breakdown of the goals and everything. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me do this, but I'll be doing this play by play on audio as well. So stick around. Let's do this. Let's knock this out. So going to the first goal. Again, Red Wings in the first period actually end up capitalizing about halfway through the first period. We get a phenomenal goal. Pucks along the boards. So you have the Canadiens are playing it. They dump it down to the Detroit net. You have Moritz Seider fighting, and then Patrick Kane actually ends up picking up the puck and taking it down. And then you got a 3-on-1 with Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Larkin, and Patrick Kane as he jumps into the zone. And you have Montreal Canadiens, so it's a 3-on-1. Kane takes it. You see that the smart thing is DeBrincat actually creates interference with Patrick Kane at the top of the circles. So it basically becomes a 2-on-1. And so you have 2-on-1 with Larkin and Kane. Kane waits, feeds Larkin as Larkin goes to the net and tips it in for a great goal on Montembeau. Like, it was a great goal. And the thing is, Montembeau was phenomenal. I think it was like 24. I think it was 24 shots in the first period that he did a phenomenal first period. And Red Wings had a monster first period. Like, if they had played that way the whole game, they could have won. They should have won. And again, it was a big game for both teams because you have the Montreal Canadiens looking to clinch the playoff spot, and you have the Red Wings trying to still stay in the playoff race. Coming in today, they had a 5.5% chance of making the playoffs. If they had won, they would have had a 12% chance of making the playoffs. And since they lost, they have a 1% chance of still making the playoffs. Again, it's highly, highly unlikely, but it's tough. So, anyways, so that was the first goal we have. Okay, going into the first period was phenomenal, by the way. And you saw the great effort. There was a great hustle. There was great physicality and everything too. It's phenomenal. So, going into the second period, about 3.5 minutes in, we have a Cole Caulfield goal. So down to Detroit's end. 48 takes it. 48 is Lane Hudson, by the way, again, who did play pretty well this game. He's so fast. He absolutely walked Justin Hall earlier in the game, which is so frustrating. So, but he's working with Berggren right now. Berggren's trying to play coverage. By the way, Berggren is not a defensive player either. So when you consider him trying to take on Lane Hudson, it's a little tougher. So you have Berggren following Lane Hudson on the board, and it is a it's a power play goal as well. So dumps it back to Suzuki. Suzuki's walking along the line, drops back to number 8, Matheson. Matheson's walking it down. Kane puts pressure, and then Matheson shoots. It gets tipped, or Cam Talbot makes the save, and then you have Cole Caulfield banks it in right in the front. It was just a bummer. It's just a big bummer. And again, it was a good stop at first, but again, it just kind of got fluffed, and it got fluffed in. I mean, also it's a power play goal as well. It was a power play goal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a power play goal. So it's just tough. It's a tough look. So about almost halfway through halfway through the third period, again, Red Wings they were staying in this. They were absolutely staying in it. You can see they were still trying to fight back. It just wasn't enough. And then now you have a I forgot about this goal. Third period? Yeah. Oh, never mind. Sorry. This is the shit goal. Sorry. I lied. It was a 3-1 game. This goal. No, okay, sorry. I apologize. I got that wrong. Cole Caulfield got the first goal, tied it up. My apologies. Going to the third period. So it's tied up going into the third period. And about halfway through the third period, Red Wings are having great chances and everything. We have this puck gets pushed down into the Red Wings zone. You have Justin Hall trying to fight for the puck. It was not Josh Anderson. It was Christian Dvorak. Or was it Brandon Gallagher? Anyways, Hall is down in the Red Wings zone, and then you have seen them fighting back there. Hall's behind the net, and he gets stuck behind the net, following number 7. The thing is, behind the net here, I'm going to restart as well. The thing is, you have number 20 is Albert Johansson for the Red Wings. He goes back behind there, and he gets hit back there. So his helmet falls off. So he's scrambling. Johansson goes to go grab his helmet, which leaves Christian Dvorak just alone. He leaves him completely alone. And then Brandon Gallagher or Christian Dvorak takes it, passes it right to Josh Anderson right in front of the net because Johansson went to go get his helmet. Because if he doesn't get his helmet, he has to skate off, or if he plays the puck without a helmet, it can be a penalty for Red Wings. Mickey Redmond talked about this. He probably should have just taken the penalty. It's like one of those things where you're like, hey, do you take the penalty? The guy's on a breakaway. Do you try and stop him? Don't take him down, right? Don't create a penalty shot. But do you try and cause the penalty when a guy's on a breakaway? Yeah, you try, because it's better to get a penalty than to get the guy on a breakaway. You know what I mean? At least if you're on a penalty kill, you have an opportunity to actually have a couple guys in there to take him down, right? So to me, that's just a bummer goal. Mickey Redmond talked about this. Johansson, let me review real quick with the Red Wings, because there was a lot of talks about this being Tarasenko's fault. So you have Hall going down there with Brandon Gallagher. And Gallagher's fighting. You have Tarasenko back there as well. So you have 3 Red Wings back there on 2 guys, by the way. So Tarasenko ends up, so he's kind of floating. Yes. Okay. So this is something that I am curious on. So you have Tarasenko closing in on Christian Dvorak. Christian Dvorak's walking it in, and Tarasenko he doesn't do a good job blocking. I don't know if it's on him, but to me, I didn't think there was so much on Tarasenko. I don't know. It's a tough call. Maybe it was JT Compher. The thing is also, I am going to blame Tarasenko. Why is Tarasenko on the right side? He should be on the left. Craig Smith is on the right side already. He's at the top. He's at the top of the circle, right? And you have Compher, who could have dropped down. To me, that should have been Tarasenko dropping down. I agree. Actually, this maybe more it's Johansson's fault and Tarasenko's. Johansson's helmet falls off. It's a bummer. Tarasenko should have been there in front of the net, causing chaos and causing blockage. And Anderson shouldn't have been open. So it's a both fault, I'd say. It's just frustrating. So, lastly, you have not lastly. So it's a 3-on-1. Sider takes it at the top of the circle, passes to Raymond. Raymond's walking along the blue line, passes down to DeBrincat. DeBrincat's walking on the goal line, passes the front of the net with Elmer Soderblom. Which I want to comment. I'm so glad to see, because you think about like who's out there right now. You have Patrick Kane, a first overall pick, one of the best U.S. born players ever, arguably the best U.S. born player ever. DeBrincat, Eisman traded for. Soderblom, drafted. Larkin, captain of the team. Eisman made him captain, right? Raymond is a Eisman draft pick, and so is Sider. So these are all like moves that like if you bring in DeBrincat, you're gonna bring in by trading for DeBrincat, who wanted to come here, by the way. You bring in Patrick Kane. You also drafted Soderblom. You drafted Raymond. You drafted Sider, and you were given Larkin. The only thing you were really given by Ken Holland, besides Berggren and Rasmussen. So you get two other third liners. Cool, right? Really, the only thing you were left with was bad contracts and Dylan Larkin. And in my opinion, I think Rasmussen doesn't get traded this year. I think he gets traded the following year. I think he's a valuable asset for somebody, and I just don't think he lasts the contract with the Red Wings. We'll see. And Berggren might get another year. We'll see. I don't know if he'll get it. It'd be nice to trade him for like Nick Robertson or something like that, or some like underperforming RFA, like an RFA for RFA swap. I think that'd be smart. Just give him a change of scenery, give him a little more opportunity. I think Berggren could really turn into like a Daniel Sprong, right? Like all offense, no defense. But again, the system that the Red Wings run is more defensive, and we'll see that more with Todd McClellan. Like he's been here for over half a year already. But to me, like getting a real proper training camp and getting these guys solidified in plays and everything will be huge for the team. So we'll see if that ends up helping out. I'm sure it will. It'll absolutely help out. So, you have some clutter in front of the net. Going back to the goal for the third goal. Soderblom, I love that he loved that you were giving him a lot of responsibility by being there. And by the way, he played on the second line today. So that McClellan's saying, hey, like we need you to step up. Some chaos in front. And then you see that Brendan Gallagher just takes it and launches it down. I mean, empty net goal. Can't do much about it. It's 21st of the season. And lastly, there's talks about Nick Suzuki not having a point yet in this game. So we go here. We have Comfort sends it down the rink into their zone. 71 passes it over Nick Suzuki right up to the center, the neutral zone, and he shoots it in on an empty net. 4-1. It's 28th of the season. Honestly, Suzuki has an opportunity to hit 30 goals at the end of the season. I don't even know if he's ever scored 30 goals. I mean, that'd be pretty impressive. Let's check his stats real quick. Let's see. He's at 135 goals total, 370 points. Go to his career log. Has he ever hit 30? He has hit 30. He hit 33 last year. So good for him. 77 points. Oh, yeah. He's at a new point high. He's a point per game. 84 points this year. 57 assists. Good for him. To me, what I was always told is that Nick Suzuki is basically kind of like Dylan Larkin. Similar. Again, Canadians are hot this year. So that is a great production from him. I love to see that for him. But again, it's just a bit of a bummer. So, anyways, so again, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to rant on my thoughts on the rest of the season and kind of what's to be expected. I want to talk a little about the what I think are some offseason moves I think he should do involving Hall, Tarasenko, what to do with Berggren, and we'll just jump into a couple of those things right after DraftKings. So we'll stay tuned after this.
This NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on edge. No one knows where it's going, and that just means there's time for your favorite team to figure things out and games left for you to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. If you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 160 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. NHL and NHL team marks are the property of NHL teams and it's of the NHL and its teams.
Okay, moving on. So Red Wings, what should they do? Okay, so there's a couple guys that I thought are at this point. I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm just too frustrated with them. So we have a Justin Hall and we have a Vladimir Tarasenko. To me, Tarasenko, there was talks of him intentionally moved this offseason. The problem is he makes too much and also has a full-blown no trade clause. So this year, so far in the series, 31 points in 74 games. He is getting better in the last half of the season, but it's just not good enough. You expect this guy to score more goals. Is one of the reasons you signed him. You also signed him the second day of free agency, so he was kind of a guy who was looking for a contract, looking to get his money. He makes $4.75 million for this year and next year. He's a full-blown no trade clause this year, so he can't be traded without his permission until after free agency this year. So my guess is they'll ask him about it, like say, hey, do you is there someone you want to be? Try and do it before the draft and try to do before free agency as well. And see if there's a place they want to go or someplace that he would want to be traded to. But mind you, if they don't, then they can just say, hey, we're going to, you have an 8-team no trade list, which means basically the Canadian teams and like one other. So he can be traded pretty much anywhere. I'm pretty sure they send a place that he would like to go so that way he can get something back, even like a 5th round pick. I don't give a shit. Give him a 7th. Give him away for free. I don't care. But to me, he just hasn't clicked with the team. The second PP unit for the Red Wings is non-existent. I mean, you have Comfer, cool. Like he's had a bad year. Like Berggren, he just had so like no luck, no puck luck. And then you have like Soderblom, cool, like that. You had Gustafsson, now you have Edmondson, which is like I like to see for sure. And like you're just like you used to have Kopp, but like you have Rasmussen instead. So it's just like not guys that are like really clicking here as like guys you need to actually perform and everything. So move forward with that. I think you try and move Tarasenko in the offseason. Another guy, so I think you end up re-signing Elmer because his contract's up. You signed Berggren because sure, why not? He's an RFA. Tyler Mott, maybe you extend him. Craig Smith, you probably let him go. But that's kind of your forward core right there. Everyone else is either an RFA or a UFA. I think you try and sign. I don't know if you signed Carter Mazur yet. Probably just wait till the next summer to do that. On the defensive side, of course, Siders got a big deal. Ben Sherratt's here for another year after this. I think you keep him. I actually think that Ben Sherratt is he a number 1 D? No, but he's a good leader on the team. And to me, I think he's good on the left side, I guess, right? If you end up signing a guy like Gavrikov for like a $7.5 million deal in the offseason, I honestly think you need to sign like a $7.5-8 million deal in the offseason for like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years. That's probably what he's going to want. If we go to Gavrikov and what he's done, mind you, he signed with LA and he actually did the really smart move because he took a shorter term with the LA Kings so that he can make big money. Like he can make bigger money later. So Gavrikov is actually making $4.875 million, and now he's a left-handed side D. And the thing is on the left side, I'm curious because you have Ben Sherratt, you have Eric Gustafsson, and Simon Edmondson, right? So to me, I think you have to get rid of Gustafsson, and you got to move on from him. I think he's just not working out. I think you got to move on from Justin Hall as well. He's just not working out either. You got to find a way to dump him. Maybe you send him to like Chicago or something like that. Who I don't even know would take him. Who's a bad team that would want to take him? Boston, maybe. Dude, how funny would that be if Boston took him? Like, honestly, send him with a 3rd round pick. I just get rid of him, please. Because you're probably gonna I don't know if you'll see Axel Sandy Pellica yet. Like, I don't know if you'll get him over here and like have him as a solidified role. But mind you, like your right side, like you're not, if you get rid of Justin Hall and you get rid of Jeff Petrie, the only right-handed defender you'll have is Moritz Seider and maybe Axel Sandy-Pellikka if he's able to come up and everything. So you have two right-handed defenders. So you have to trade for someone. On the left side, I guess you can move Albert Johansson over there, who, by the way, you should absolutely give him a deal. Give him like a $2 million deal for like 2 years, just to keep him around. He's looked really good this year. I really like him in his position. He's a bottom pair D. He's only got 8 points in 55 games. But again, he's just a good aggressive. He's gonna put a ton more hits, which is phenomenal as well. But yeah, to me, like you give Simon Edvinsson a good long deal after this. Jeff Petrie is probably going to retire. You're not going to re-sign him either. So basically, the D that you have for next year, if you trade Justin Hall and you trade Eric Gustafsson, you have Moritz Seider, Ben Sherratt. You'd have Simon Edvinsson and Albert Johansson. So you have 4D. You need to sign 3D then. You just sign a left-handed D. So it's probably Gavrikov. You get a right-handed D. I would love for them to trade for Garrett Carlson. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's something you could trade for. And you could also trade for, you also have Axel Sandy-Pellikka, who I think will probably end up starting in Grand Rapids. I think that's the smartest move, and then kind of go from there. So, to me, I think you got to move on from Eric Gustafsson. You got to move on from Hall. Like, it's just not working out. Even Eric Gustafsson, let's see, he's 33 years old. He was supposed to be your like diet Shane Gostisbehere. He has 18 points in 60 games. Like, just not enough. I don't know if he's ever really expected to be that. But to me, that's how I always saw him as. Like his highest points total was 38 points in 61 games with the Washington Capitals in 22-23. So that wasn't even that long ago. Like he's played 61 games so far this season. Like that's 13 less points than he had with Washington Capitals. I don't know, dude. Like it's just a bummer. Oh no, he had 60 with the Chicago Blackhawks. So dude, like we know this guy is capable. It's just not working out. That's just a bummer. It's just not working out. So I'm just frustrated, man. I want the Red Wings to be good. And I'm like, and the free agency is not that great this year. So you got to trade for someone probably. But to me, it's just frustrating. I mean, and you also so you have to find a right-handed D, you have to find a left-handed D. I mean, who are their prospects that can come up? I think there's a couple guys that can come up. But nothing too crazy. Like I want to see, like Cross Hannes, maybe you give him. Probably not going to give him a contract, but you can bring Ante Tuomisto up. You can bring Emil Vera up, maybe. Right, those are your young guys down that are graduating. I think Ante Tuomisto would be a good one to bring up. He has I think 24 points the last time I saw with the Grand Rapids Griffins. He is a right-handed defender too. He's got 27 points, 61 games. I mean, that's not bad. That's not too bad. I don't know what his even strength goals are, but to me, he's a right-handed defender right there. Emil Vera is your left-handed defender. You don't really need him because you already have an Albert Johansson. So you probably let him go. Again, you don't really need him, unfortunately. Also, sorry, I forgot to do goalies. You already have your goalies solidified for next year. You have Mrazek and you have Talbot. You're probably going to let Alex Lyon go. He's probably going to go try and get a bigger contract. And to me, like, I don't know if they want to re-sign him anyways. If you look at his numbers this year, he's got an 896 straight save percentage, so it is below average of the what the league averages. And in 28 games, he's got 2.84 goals against, just not defensive enough. Well, it's more the Red Wings' fault too. So, but anyways, but I could see them maybe bringing up like Amadeus Lombardi next year. Bring some youth into that bottom six. Like you're gonna have Kopp back, you're gonna have Comfer, maybe bring up a Nate Danielson. Like you need to free up some space as well. But yeah, I mean, again, maybe you bring in Axel Sandy-Pellikka. A William Molinder would be cool on the left side, or a Shai Buium. I think Shai Buium might need a little more time in the AHL. If you look at Shai Buium's numbers in the AHL, he was drafted second round draft pick in 2021. So he played a lot in Denver, by the way, with the University of Denver. In his last year, 36 points in 43 games. That's phenomenal. Love to see that. In Grand Rapids so far this year has 24 points, 62 games. Love that. Needs maybe a little more time to cook down there, but I big fan. Again, brother of Z Buium, big draft pick out of this past year's draft. And again, you have a William Molinder, 17 points, 56 games. I mean, not a point getter, but again, you know what he is, a left-handed defender, and he's 6'4". Again, if maybe you move Johansson over to the right again, because he did well over there. And then your left side looks like Linder, if you'll have a Gavrikov, Sherratt. Gavrikov, Sherratt. No, Gavrikov, Edvinson, Sherratt. Ooh, what if you do that? Ooh, I kind of like that. Okay, so you have but do you need Gavrikov on the Z play PP? I'm curious on that. We'll have to look that up. Anyways, you could have Edmonton play PP. Like that's like power play too. That is an option as well. So you really need a good defensive guy. Again, and the thing is, Justin Hall also plays power penalty kill as well. So like, I don't know, maybe you see a guy that can play a ton of penalty kill minutes. But anyways, I'm just ranting at this point because their season's over, guys. Their season's over. They might bring Sebastian Costa up next year, maybe, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm a little bit frustrated, man. I wonder what they're gonna do with Gage Alexander. He's a 6'6" goaltender. Did he even play this year? I think he's injured. They got him in the trade for Robbie Fabry. Yeah, he played in the ECHL with the Reading Royals. He had 913 save percentage, so cool. But he's an RFA, so I wonder if they'll just let him go. Anywho, let me know what your thoughts are on what you guys want to do. Like what free agents do you want to do? Like, what are you guys feeling? Like, to me, I'm ready for action. I just want some we saw him. I'm not trusting I trust Eisman's drafting. I don't trust his trades that well because that brings you Petrie. And I mean, DeBrincat wanted to come home, so that was a good deal. Like, who's another trade? Mrazek trade, I guess. I mean, like, what are we doing here? Mrazek, Petrie, and DeBrincat. DeBrincat was the only one that wanted to come home. So Mrazek's kind of cool. Like, how does Mrazek looked since he came back? Because I think that'd be an indicator of whether they're bringing back. Because I mean, like, he seems to be doing okay here. If we check his stats with the Red Wings, 902 save percentage and a 249 goals against. I mean, he's played 5 games. He's 33. So I mean, cool. Like, he comes home. Like, I don't mind. Like, I genuinely don't mind having him. It's just one of those where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, an old goaltender. But to me, like, he's another guy that could, because I know he might be another guy that you look at like, okay, do you keep him for an extra year after Talbot retires? He's this contract. Talbot's up after this year. Like, because Talbot, by the time his contract ends, he'll be like 38, 39. So you just say, hey, Mrazek wants to go around for a year or two, sign him for that, and then you have Costa come up and they do like a 1A, 1B type situation. Because you don't want to throw Costa to the Wolves and have him do like 30 some games. But again, if you have Mrazek, Talbot, and then you bring Costa up for like 10 to 15 games, like, that would be very good for his development, a good intro into the NHL. You don't just like throw him to the Wolves. You get him a couple games up here. I think that'd be really smart. And by the way, you also have Trey Augustine, who is going to be in Michigan State. He wants to be the number one goalie, and like wherever he's going, he wants to be the number one goaltender. So Trey Augustine was going to be the number one goaltender in Michigan State. Sebastian Costa will be the number one goaltender in Grand Rapids, and then he can kind of moonlight a little bit in the Red Wing system, up with the big club. And then when Costa is ready to take that full leap up to the big club, which would be either at the end of next year or sometime next year if there's an injury, then when Costa graduates, then Trey Augustine can be the goalie for Grand Rapids, and that's how you move the pipeline going. So the thing is, this future's bright. It's bright, guys and gals. It is absolutely bright. You just have to be willing to stick around and do it for the journey. Eisman had nothing. He had nothing. And now we are seeing that there is something here. There's absolutely something here. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Hockey Town, are you ready? I'm absolutely ready. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. We'll hit up some hockey news probably tomorrow. Just kind of knock out some more hockey news. I mean, Obi did some sort of record. I mean, Sid also broke some sort of record. So we'll cover that in the next episode. But I just want to rant about the Red Wings because your boy's frustrated. Anyways, love you. Bye.